So I was watching a video on ESPN where this guy was playing baseball and a fan threw a can of soda at him and it hit him. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God that was a soft drink. See, eventually you guys are going to think I'm funny. So this lesson here is actually quite a bit of note-taking, so make sure you use the pause function in the video. There's just not a lot of good examples for this video thing that I think it'd be better if you did those on your own for more practice time. Okay, so the idea is we're going to be turning sentences or words into numbers. And before we can do that, we need to look at some keywords that we're going to be identifying. So some addition words would be some or more than or plus or increased by. So things like 7 plus x would be written as 7 plus x. The sum of 3 and z would be 3 plus z, and so on. Okay, so those 4 words are keywords for addition sentences. Subtraction, difference, minus, decreased by, and less than. The key one here, and you need to put a giant star next to it, is this one, less than. It's backwards. Okay, and I'll tell you that I, as a teacher, get this wrong about 90% of the time because that trick just throws me off. So I'm trying to give you a head start. So some of the examples here, the difference of 3 and z would be 3 minus z. 6 minus 4 would be written like that. Decreased by would 10 decreased by c would be that. Now, the problem here is 7 less than whatever. So let's think of a sentence, and I'll write this one out. Let's go 7 less than 10. Okay? Well, if we're thinking about it, I have 7 less dollars than $10. Well, the answer of that is 3. So it has to be 10 minus 7, not 7 minus 10. Because if you just think about the sentence logically. So this one is actually backwards from those other ones. Okay? Multiplication and division, this one is one thing here. These are multiplication. These are division. Okay? So the product of 3 and x would be 3 times x. The quotient of 3 and x would be 3 divided by x. So those are multiplication and division keywords. Okay, so now we're through the notes. We can start looking at some examples. The product of a number and 5. Well, we know product is multiplication, and a number is going to be a variable because we don't know what number that is yet. So the product multiplication of a number and 5 would be x times 5 or 5 times x because the order doesn't matter on multiplication. Okay? The sum of 3 and 5 is 8. Another keyword that we have to look at is. Is always means equal to, so we can write as a sentence. We know sum is addition, so 3 plus 5 equals 8 for that one. Okay, so for this one, quotient is a keyword. That means division. And the other keyword is. So the quotient of a number and 5, so that's any variable, but I like to use x. X divided by 5 equals 14. 7 less than a number. First thing I would hope you notice is less than. That's the one that should jump out at you. That's backwards. So we have to flip the order. Well, a number, that's going to be x. Minus 7. Remember, less than, always backwards. Okay, so for this last one, about as tough as it can possibly get. The product, that's multiplication of 3 and 5. So that's 3 times 5 minus the difference of, that's subtraction, 5 and 3. Is equal to, well, I kind of gave it away there, but is means equal to 13. So just break it down word by word. once you try these three on your own. Add 3 to a number, 3 plus x. The difference of a number and 12, x minus 12. The product of x and 5, well, that's x times 5 or 5 times x. And the quotient of a number and 6, that's x divided by 6, but not the other way around. Important, I use the x for all of these, but you can use any that you want. Okay? 2 quick story problems. Mr. Schmidt brought 15 cupcakes to class, but he got hungry and ate some before school began. Well, we don't know how many I ate. Therefore, it's going to be 15 minus some number x. I don't know how many it was, but it's some are gone. Okay? LeBron James averaged 25 points a game against Dallas in the finals 3 years ago. This year against the Spurs, which the Heat won, I would like to point out, he averaged 7 more. So in this one, it's 25 plus 7. Now you could write that as equal to x, the number we're looking for, or you could just leave it as 25 plus 7 because the question was a little ambiguous, which means a little confusing. Okay? And that is everything, I'm pretty sure. Yes, that is everything.